So this is an extremely rough draft of a game I have never played, based on, well, it was loosely based on a couple of games I have played, but it's so far away from them now that not only have I never played it, I've never played anything like it at this point, so I have no idea if it's going to work.
I believe in us to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, I think we can figure it out. The things that I definitely have no idea on are the like just the math part, like how many tokens people are likely to earn per session. You have both played in games with me that involved earning tokens, and yeah,
I think
we all kind of forgot about it.
I think in Flotsam we earned maybe 2 tokens. I think there were 2 tokens that were earned at various points.
I think we all earned them the first session because we were keeping track. And then, yeah. But, so, I guess I should maybe say what this game is about and what the deal is with it. Yeah, so this started out as a kind of a weird crossover between Monster Hearts and Lasers and Feelings. I don't think either of those are visible in it anymore. But it is about kind of just a bunch of people who live kind of in the same, as I put, not even a town, and a lot of interpersonal drama with each other because the entire point is to like force you to work at cross purposes, and while also kind of being held down by your reputation of like the stuff you did when you were in high school years ago, and like you haven't lived down because everybody knows you and nobody has forgotten the dumb mistakes you made, or the good things about you, because like you could have a reputation as being super great at something and that was never true, or that was true and now you just like haven't practiced that thing in forever. So that is why those stats are what they are.
Can I go ahead and put a line on the phrase gifted and talented?
Yes.
It's too real.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, let me make a space for line. Oh, we have.
I don't mean to joke about safety tools. I'm only saying that because of the very close experience. I relate to that.
Yeah. And I think that is, if this thing has a tone and subject matter issue, that's probably where it's going to be. It's just like things that have. It's probably, at least I think for me, it'd be really easy to bring up real life things that you may or may not like want to deal with at the moment. Because it's kind of just, contemporary real world sort of setting. And let's see. I have all of these windows open and I can never find the right one. Yeah, like other subject matter, I don't know, there's probably, like, there's potential for a lot of things. There's potential for violence, but I don't really expect there to be a lot. I guess, potential for, like, racism, sexism, homophobia, but I don't feel like going there today. Like, I could see situations where it could be interesting, but nah, not right now.
It's a Friday night. Let's not.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't know. Anybody else have any things that they want to avoid or?
See, I generally don't really care to deal with with child abuse or sexual assault type stuff, but that seems everybody seems to usually agree that nobody wants to deal with that.
Yeah, but it's good to have it there, as a reminder.
Always good to be explicit. Yeah, Bethany, I've played with you enough that like I feel very comfortable with like calling things out in the moment if they come up. And Chris, I'll figure it out. I will get myself used to it very quickly if I need to.
Yeah. And like I said, this is a GM-less game, so if you find yourself going in a direction you didn't want to, that is what rewind is for. Feel free to just like, nope, you know what? That scene I just narrated did not happen. Stepping back, starting over. Totally cool. And of course, anybody can do that while someone else is narrating as well, because that I should probably state explicitly in this thing somewhere is like that takes precedence over the rules about who narrates a scene. Like if it's someone else's turn, then like, or if someone else gets to narrate that scene because you rolled badly, you can still interrupt them if it's going somewhere that you just don't want it to go. So the setup is basically building the tables to set up. Hopefully it won't take forever. That's another thing I want to check on, is like, is this a super slow process or not? So to create a character, you pretty much just like pick a name, pick your pronouns, describe your character in as much detail as you have just off the top of your head, because you'll fill in more about them while we set up. And this is like explicitly building the setting and the characters at the same time.
Now, Barry, if you think it might be cool, like I sort of threw in before I'd read your character's full background, Gus works at his dad's auto shop. Do you think like his shop competes with the Quick Lube, or do you think maybe it is the Quick Lube?
Ooh, I don't know. I want to get through like the answer questions stuff, and then maybe it will become clear through that. That's exciting though.
Oh, speaking of which, yeah, we have questions. Oh, the first thing actually is, so just like throw your initials onto that Jock Nerd Prep Goth graph there in roughly the area that you think that this isn't like where you actually in reality are. This is where people think you are. So like I think probably Brooke Hensley is a nerd goth. Just how far in these directions, I don't know.
I'm thinking Gus is like a sort of a jock goth. Like he can work on cars, so he's outside the traditional nerd framework. But
I just realized my initials are the same either way.
Yeah, he's goshy. He's gothy because he plays music, and I can't really figure out. It's not really nerdy music. It's not really preppy music. It's sort of like alternative rock with a little bit of like with a little bit of like Western swing style built into it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Is the Axis like a place where I can be?
Yeah, absolutely. You can write over any of those numbers.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna split the goth prep right down the middle. That feels pretty good to me. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do better than that. There we go. Cool. I feel a lot better about that.
Yep. Excellent. Yeah. So the next step in the setup is to choose and answer questions. There's 3 columns of questions there at the top, and we just take turns, pick one, answer it with a person, place, or thing, and then fill that in the people, places, and things columns below, or like tables right below it. If we run out of blanks before we're done answering these questions, just write over some of the filled in ones. Or write over some of the filled in ones anyway if you just don't like them. That's also fine.
Let's see, when we looking at the questions, do we need to go like in any particular order, or can we pick from any column?
I think each person should pick at least one of each. but you can pick any one from that column. From each of the columns. Let's see.
So I think I want to take one of the questions from places, and that's where did they find the body? This is presumably like one of the people on people. Like I could either fill that in or I could take one of those, right?
The body. I would just put that name in the notes somewhere because.
Oh, okay.
Like these are people that you could probably interact with.
Gotcha. Okay. So where they found the body? Well, I think it was John Berryman. And they found him at the foot of the water tower. We were all getting super high, and he thought he could fly.
Oh.
Honestly swore he could, but he didn't, so he died.
Oh no. Okay. So they found the body. Cool. Let me see.
Let's see. I kind of got one of the people questions.
Okay.
Who still holds a grudge from that fight you had years ago? I think it's. I think the person who still holds that grudge is like a former bandmate. Like just like every other like budding musician in high school, we had this band, and it was going to go places. We were going to get out of this dead end town with it too. But we came up. We had a disagreement. Over the direction of the band, like what it was going to be. And really, it was an argument over what songs we were going to cover because we obviously didn't have our own music yet. And it ended up with like a fist fight, and like it was one of those fist fights where nobody really wins. Everybody just sort of like ended up mad and with a black eye. But me and Billy Kavanaugh never forgave each other.
Okay, excellent.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
What was the name of the band?
Oh, dang it.
I am so excited to find out the answer to this.
Oh God, I think that was one of the tricky parts, but I think we ended up doing something that we thought was really avant-garde and sneaky, and I think we called ourselves the No Name Band because we thought it would be like the horse with no name, like the man with no name. We thought it was cool, so we were the No Name Band.
Nice.
And everybody just joked like, "Yep, you are. You are definitely that forever."
Yeah.
Very good.
Very cool. Okay. My weirdest relative. What did they give me for my 18th birthday? My weirdest relative is my cousin. Let me find a good name here. I had one and then I immediately forgot it. Oh, that's my cousin Austin. And he gave me a coyote skull he found in the woods that he thought I would like make into something awesome. Because like he had seen, I don't know, some painted skulls at the souvenir shop at some point, and I haven't done anything at all with it. It's like just on a shelf.
Awesome.
Does he still like ask you about it? Like,
I think it's been a couple years. He asked me about it a lot at first, and he hasn't lately.
Oh, I know what my next question is. What has your neighbor been trying to sell for months with no offers? So I think my neighbor has been trying to sell for months with no offers a ratty old pop-up camper. Like you could probably gut it and make like a decent hunting camper out of it, but it needs some work. It's a clean title, but the title's the only thing about it that's clean.
and do they keep that like out in front of their house, like with a big for sale sign on it?
Oh yeah, all seasons.
And they never clean it either. It's just always sitting out there with that same dirty sign.
Yeah, just like slowly falling apart, getting less and less likely for somebody to see it and want to buy it.
Let's see. I've got one from the places section. Where have you stopped going that you used to go there all the time? I think it's the original bar where the No Name Band used to have most of its gigs. And it's called the Slippery Slope.
I like so much about this place that that this high school band was playing at a establishment with presumably a liquor license. It's so great.
Oh yeah, well, they kind of played it also being a restaurant, so it wasn't just a bar, so they could pretend that they could let like other people in there, but everybody knew you didn't order food there. That wasn't what you did.
They had like a fryer with mozzarella sticks.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did wings. Everywhere does wings.
Yeah. Well, they probably had wings and mozzarella sticks that kind of all just jumbled together, and you like they'd fish out the whichever people ordered. Not that anyone ordered it, because who knows how long they've been in there.
Oh yeah. Eventually, like at the end of the night, they would just put a bunch of them up on the bar because they always came out like super salty. So like that would get everybody to like drink up all of the remaining like half drunk liquor bottles from that night.
Nice.
Unless we're in South Carolina, which used to be like a mini bottle state, then all bets are off.
Yeah, I don't know where we are. Could be anywhere. Yeah. Oh, cross it out. I think I secretly go to Well, I secretly go through the railroad tunnel. There's no the railroad's been torn up years ago, but I'm not actually like just going to the tunnel. There's a pond on the other side of it, and like obviously there's got to be some kind of legend about this pond that someone drowned there. It's always kind of covered with fog because it's always like a little warmer than the surrounding air, and it looks creepy. But because it looks creepy, like nobody else hangs out there, and I go there and I because I'm still trying to be an artist. I take like a sketchbook and like just sit there and kind of doodle, and it just never goes anywhere.
So I see that there are like some references to like the supernatural in the someplace on here. Where is it? Oh, creative or magic if your setting has it. Is that something that you want to like lean into to introduce with this location, or is that?
Yeah, I don't know if there are actual ghosts there or anything. It might just purely be a thing that people say. I am cool either way.
Does the little pond have a name? Like, did they name it, or is it just like that pond near the railroad tunnel?
Oh, good question.
Or does it have one of those really embarrassing historical names that nobody can even say anymore?
Oh, maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe it's named after. I don't have a name off the top of my head, but it's named after somebody who like later people found out this was just like an awful person who, I don't know, had let's see, who would it have been named after?
Maybe it was like it was somebody who was like a local football hero, and like after he left town, like he went off to, became a pro football player, but ended up like, killing somebody in a drunken rage or something. And my brother
perfect.
Was like, oh
no, yeah. So nobody calls the pond by its name anymore. What is this person's name? Let's see. This is Dennis Barber.
So it used to be called like Barber Pond or something like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. In fact, maybe it was actually named after like Dennis Barber's, Dennis Barber Sr., and it was Dennis Barber Jr. who like became the football player and murdered somebody, but it's still the name. Nobody wants to be associated with that name anymore.
That's really good.
See, I've got the things question. What have you owned for years but never used because you're afraid to mess it up? I think Gus has a really, really nice like electric guitar. Like it was, one of his uncles bought it for him like a long time ago, and it's a classic model. Like it looks really good, it sounds really good, but he will not take that thing out to any concert to use it. Like he's terrified to mess it up because he's saving it for like that one big concert.
Yeah,
really good, where he's going to impress somebody. So, but that big concert just isn't anywhere he plays now.
Right.
So it just sort of sits there like in his little like spare bedroom studio, and just sort of gathers dust. Like he occasionally like dusts it off to kind of keep it shiny and such, but like it never gets taken out and played anywhere public. Like maybe he strums it a little at home just to keep it in tune, but like he does not take that thing out of his room.
Nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know Gus.
Yep. Okay. I have 2 more people. Secretly, who covers for you at work? Don't do a secret you've kept so far. Let's see.
I kind of want to take the who covers for you at work.
Cool.
And I think it's like what like whoever the like the family is that like just owns like a ton of real estate and they rent all of the office space to like businesses that are like rotating through, and this is like one of their business ventures, and like Cory's a good enough looking dude. People know him around here. Like they hire him he'll keep people like coming through happy. It doesn't matter that he's not particularly good at the job.
Yeah.
Like as long as the register balances and there's a like a line anytime traffic is moving, then like he's doing fine. So I'll come up with a name for that, for like the family member.
Perfect. Trying to decide between who told me a secret I've kept so far, or who is marrying the person I'm secretly in love with. Problem with that first one is I have to come up with 2 people. Let's see. Actually. Look at the names here. Okay. I have a name to answer the question of whoever it is. This is... yeah, I think Summer is marrying the person I'm secretly in love with. Now I have to come up with their name. Oh, there we go. Random names. Okay, Summer Wheeler is marrying Jordan Hill, who I'm secretly in love with. And I guess most of these generally have like a thing about that person. Summer is a school teacher. She's a teacher, and she was sent here like on one of those like Teach for America sort of programs. So she's probably going to leave in a couple of years, but In the meantime, she fell in love with Jordan. And, okay, yeah, so we have those filled up unless someone would like to replace one of the old ones. Which were completely randomly thrown in there. There's no plan for any of them. Okay, so let's see what, even I can't remember the next step. Oh, right, yeah, so the next step is, so each person chooses a different problem, but fills those in with, place, person, thing, there's in the brackets, and the problems have to be different, but like two people can definitely have a problem that involves the same person or the same place or the same thing. In fact, that is good. We can roll randomly. That's likely to produce some that don't make a whole lot of sense. Or we can just pick one.
I think it would be absolutely ridiculously perfect if your love was asking you to actually marry them.
Oh no!
Like you have one of those like sort of online knockoff or no, you're just a notary. You're a notary public. You're like there's two of you in town, and one of them is going to be out on vacation for the next month.
Yep.
So you're the only other notary in town.
Yeah. So Jordan is marrying Summer. Tomorrow at what place? Where would a person get married?
Oh no, they're trying to do it at Barber Pond.
Oh, okay.
It's so pretty out there, and there's nothing else out there, and you've got the mist in the background, and all the trees, and the tunnel. And the tunnel actually faces east. So like first thing in the morning, if you're there before 10 o'clock, the sun shines through the tunnel.
Yeah. Summer has kind of a dramatic streak. So like that combination of like the dark tunnel and the mist and the light. Yeah. That is definitely.
Okay, now I think it's only fair that somebody try to come up with one for Gus now, since I've saddled you with that emotional whammy.
Let's see, Gus. Gus has all kinds of possibilities here.
I know which one I like to start with, and I want to give it a little context. What do you think about Billy Kavanaugh owing you money, and this having been like a long outstanding debt, like from the No Name days, and like he finally settles up with you, but paid you with one of the things instead. That turns out it is stolen. How do you feel about that, Chris?
Oh, I kind of like that, and it'd be another reason for him to be pissed at Kavanaugh, but he doesn't know it's stolen, right?
Right.
And so that's going to be like the big revelation.
Mm-hmm. Well, what would he pay you with? Probably that ruby ring.
Yeah, that looks great.
Let's see. Yeah, the semi trailer full of snack cakes probably would not do it. That would be awesome, but that would probably raise immediate suspicion. Like, Billy, where did you get this semi trailer full of these snack cakes?
Yeah.
Like, I love that this is like obviously the stolen semi full of cigarettes that we're gonna smuggle out of the country and sell, but like it's snack cakes. It's amazing. It's so good.
On the upside, snack cakes would hopefully be easier to sell.
Well, anyone who has access to a vending machine could fill it up pretty well for a while.
Well, I'm not going to choose mine then, since it doesn't seem how this is going.
Okay. man. So let's see. You work at where?
I'm the manager at the Quick Lube.
Okay.
Which I assume is part of the Case family's empire, along with Pat's Quick Stop. The Quick being the the family trademark, apparently.
Yeah.
Maybe they spell quick with an extra K so they don't get in trouble with like Quick Lube and Quick Stop and all that. Or maybe they spell it with a C for case.
Oh. Yeah, I think we need to change Pat's Quick Stop and Hair Salon too, then. CWIK.
Or you could put the C on the end like it's CW, but and it's
I think that looks better.
It's just a C on the end, no K, just C.
Yes, that's better. Yeah. I was like, so like if you pronounce the CWIK, it makes sense, but if actually looking at it, it's not immediately obvious what it means. Yeah, cool. Okay. So I wonder if one of your employees at the Quick Lube wants you to tutor them so they can pass a certification exam and get a better job. So like maybe this is your best employee, and they want to get certified to like do a particular kind of engine repair.
What do you think of it being Sam the fortune teller? Like, that's like as soon as Sam has like a reliable day job, then I think that they'll be able to like set themselves up to then also ply the trade in the city. But like fortune teller is like a surprisingly unpredictable revenue stream.
Yeah.
It really seems like it shouldn't be, but like it seems like you should always have money, but you would think. How is Sam the fortune teller, like, do they do like the traditional like the traditional like mysterious like, you know, dress up like a fortune teller kind of thing, or do they just like have like a booth at the local county fair or something and like do like you know, cold reads or something?
But they have a booth at the flea market next to like the guy selling a bunch of really dull daggers that every flea market has.
Oh yeah, and they're like, you know, ninja swords.
Mm-hmm, ninja swords, and they're labeled as just ninja swords.
Technically, they're sold officially as paperweights.
True. Yeah, that's why they're so dull. You know, you can't. That's intentional. Yeah, so I think. But do they put any effort into like doing the whole mysterious fortune teller thing, or do they just like, you know, wearing a t-shirt and jeans with a pack of tarot cards in front of them?
Yeah, and is Sam like short for Samantha or Samuel, or like is it just like, or are they just sort of maintain some sort of mysterious air and you can't really tell?
It's short for Samhain. Thank you.
Yes.
And they pronounce it Samhain too, and like everybody just walks by and says, but that's not how you. It's solid. No, it's Samhain. You see the letters? Maybe they actually legally changed their name to Sam Hain.
100%.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet. That they had the town's more shady notary, Brook, sign off on that.
Yep.
Brook, sure. I can't believe that you would do that for someone who's every bit as goth as you, but more nerdy. Wow.
Yeah, I think they're at that perfect like intersection of goth and nerd.
Yeah, Sam is over there, too goth, too nerd.
Oh, so good.
Awesome. Okay, So let me see. So that is the setup. Which, okay, that didn't take forever. That's awesome. And this would be like the point where you adjust your reputation if you think it needs adjusting based on the answers that people came up with. Although I think mine is still in the right place.
Yeah, I think Gus is still sitting kind of where he is. He's at like Jock 1, Goth 1.
Yep.
Like he fixes cars, so he's got a little bit of Jock, but he also like plays alternative rock, western swing hybrid music. So he's at Goth 1 too. So
yeah, perfect.
I feel pretty good about where I'm sitting.
Yeah, I think Jock and just Jock. That's good. All right. So I think we did that. So playing scenes. So I guess this is more a rotating GM game than a GM-less game, but you only need a GM under specific circumstances. So the idea is everybody sort of just goes around, takes turns, framing a scene where your character you try to make some sort of steps towards solving your problem, or any other problems that arise during play, because they're going to, hopefully. If they don't, then I've done something wrong. And try to get like two, since we only have 3 people, try to get 2 people per scene, or two PCs in a scene, when possible. And you just play it until somebody does something that has a chance of failure, and then you roll, same as like, any game. Except that's when the GM, whoever is not in the scene, steps in, kind of picks which stat to roll if it's not obvious. You roll, and it's PBTA. 10 plus is a success, 7 to 9 is partial success, 6 minus is a failure, or maybe a success that turns out to be a bad thing. But the difference is that on a 10 plus, person who rolled just like keeps going and tells about their awesome success and how it worked, and like what resulted from that. On a 7 to 9, that person does still get to narrate the rest of the scene or play out the rest of the scene, but everybody else suggests a complication, and the person who rolled has to pick one and like incorporate it into the rest of their scene. And on a 6 minus, the GM takes over. They choose how the player's action went wrong, and they just take over for the rest of the scene and describe what happened as a result of that. The difference aside from who is in control of the narrative, is that because this is your reputation, this isn't your reality, you can earn tokens and spend tokens. So like if you fail on a jock roll, because your jock score is like mine and it's a -1, I could be like, you know what? I am not just a nerd like people say I am. They're wrong. I have this token. I'm going to spend it, and I'm going to make it a 7 to 9. So that is where you get to sort of push back against your reputation. And if you succeed with a 10 plus, you can make it a 7 to 9, and earn a token. That being, I'm less of a nerd than people say, or than people think I am. I'm actually really bad at math, and I do not know. Yeah, I got that completely wrong. I gave you the wrong amount of money or whatever it was. So that is how you earn tokens. You can spend tokens, like I said, to turn a failure into a 7 to 9, or a 7 to 9 into a 10. you can also spend, and here's the math part that I'm not sure about. You can spend 2 tokens to shift your reputation 1 cell in any direction. Or you can spend, I think I put 5 tokens to do something called breaking the slate, which is all of your current stats reset to 0. And you just like make up another one that reflects like who your character thinks they are, as opposed to who everyone else thinks they are. You pick the actions that would apply to, which are probably going to overlap a little bit with one of the others. As long as it's not a, exact overlap, it's fine. And you get a +2 in that new one. And you only get to do that once per campaign when you do something that would that's just unexpected, that nobody would think that you would do. And even if you fail with doing that thing, you still keep the new stat. I think that is all of the rules. So what problem would we like to try to solve first, or start trying to solve?
Oh, by the way, since it sounds like the place that Gus's dad owns, the auto shop, is not going to be the Quick Lube, since that's actually owned by the Case family. Gus's dad's shop is called Alvar Auto, because it goes with the name. And his dad came up with that name and thought it was really great 12 years ago, or let's say a little longer, maybe 15 years ago or so.
Oh, it's such a strong choice. So happy with that.
Yep. That is perfect. Okay, let's see what is the problem?
Actually, would it be okay if we took 5?
Oh yeah, you know what? That's a good timing. It's 9.
Cool.
Let's see.
Second a few.
We have problems. Who wants to solve one? I also realized that technically it's not going to be the GM isn't in the scene, but the GM might not have a PC in the scene. And since there's only 3 people, if we all have PCs in the scene, we'll figure it out. And let's see, what is a good approachable problem to start with?
Do you drive, Brook?
Yeah.
Because you could just be getting your oil changed, and me and Sam could be working through the 25 point 25 point check, and run into something that I need to help them out with. I'm just, because we haven't said so, I'm just going to put they them pronouns for Sam on the people list. And I don't know that this is working toward solving the problem or whatever, but at least we can try and figure a scene that might make sense. So so Chris, does it make sense for you to play Sam for the scene?
Yeah, and I can kind of if you need some GM level stuff done, I can do that, since it doesn't sound like there'd be any reason for Gus to be in this part.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so as far as framing the scene where we do something risky or challenging, Bethany, how do you feel about me putting your car at risk by having Sam work on something of it?
Oh, that's good.
Okay, cool.
And I'm really good at playing someone who knows nothing about cars, because I know nothing about cars.
Hey, let me tell you about myself sometime. That'd be great.
I also, we all know nothing about cars, it seems like.
Cool.
So I'm trying to figure out why I'm echoing.
So I think, do you think this test maybe has some sort of checklist that Sam's supposed to go through? like as far as like how he inspects the car's various systems, and says, okay, now I'm going to check this fluid, or now I'm going to like do an air check or whatever.
Okay, so yeah, so let's detail this a little bit more. Maybe like the um the cases are looking to open up open up their second franchise of the Quick Lube. Um, you know, 40 miles out of town. Closer to the big city. They got a lot just off of the interstate. And seems like they'll be able to get some decent traffic there. And Cory, I think, is too attached to Cory's too attached to like knowing everyone here to want to take the job, and I think Sam is like into it and really working towards it. How's that sound for everybody?
That's good.
That sounds good.
Okay, cool. So we're so we're running through the checklist and so forth, and I think that as we're under the hood, someone's down in the pit, saying that they just put the oil plug back in, so we can start filling it up. But as we're as I'm just as I'm using the oil can to fill up the reservoir, I'm telling Sam, or I'm asking and so now that we're through all that, what do we do next?
And Sam leans back and sort of rocks on their heels a little bit and says, I think after that we go to, and Sam's habitually doing his their fortune teller voice when they're thinking really hard, because they've tried to develop that into their default voice so that they never break character when they're at their flea market booth. I think that after that we should check the transmission fluid.
That's right. Why don't you so why don't you check that? I'm gonna go show Brook this, and I'll come over to the driver's side door with the dipstick, and I'll point out filled right back up to the line, just where it ought to be.
Yeah, I think I'm standing there watching the more conversation that's involved in this, the more this is going to cost me, because they're going to find something wrong. And that paranoia that is people who do or probably do or don't know much about cars feel when they take a car to get something fixed. Oh shit, they're going to find something else wrong.
Do you give a look that betrays that in any way?
I think, yeah. Do you see the relief when you're just oh yeah, see, it's it's right up to. Oh, okay, cool.
Can I just narratively ask a question?
Sure.
What reason would you have from back in the day that Cory's probably not most places? Yes, you would be you might be right to think that, but is there something from Brook and Cory's past that might give you just that slightest reassurance?
Yeah, I think that Cory has I don't know if we probably weren't good friends or anything, but I think I've never known Cory to do anything, I've probably brought a car here several times and never been told, oh, you need a whole, I'm going to replace your headlights for the third time and this year.
Blinker fluid.
Yeah. So everything that has been fixed on this car has plausibly needed fixed. And I think aside from that, just like, you know, the entire time I've known Cory, I've never known him to do anything like I've never known him to do anything like underhanded, but also like I've never had a problem with him, which is probably more than I can say for most people that I grew up with.
Okay, sweet.
Could it also be that Cory's like a terrible liar?
Like, it could also be that Cory's a terrible liar.
Oh no, I love that. I'm adding that to the notes right here.
Yeah, maybe everyone knows when Cory's lying.
And that's why everybody brings their car here. It's like they're like, oh no, he's lying. I definitely do not need a new air filter.
Yeah, I think he flexes his or just like opens and clenches his fist, like that's his tell, right?
Yeah, perfect.
Just like straight not knowing what to do with his hands.
So maybe he's not super honest. He's just like, you know, when he's lying. So he ends up being honest kind of accidentally.
Yeah. No, that's great. And so like I'll take that back up to the front, and I think I'm like, well, okay, Sam, you know what you're supposed to do. I need you to do it on your own. And like,
and Sam sort of leans back and rocks on their heels again and says, okay, I think I got this. We're already halfway through the process. So,
would the supervision of this the transmission flush or whatever, would that be something that would rise to the level of a role?
Yeah, that would make sense.
For Sam,
do you break this car or not?
Right.
Or have you trained Sam well enough that they're not going to break the car?
Well, yeah. I think like rolling nerd might make sense for that. Like if I'm keeping an eye on what Sam's actually doing with this, and so I come I'll come back around and I'll say, hey, the transmission fluid's actually like a little bit low, and we checked it and it was like brownish pink. It's like we do a flush for like $39 this month. It's probably a good idea.
Probably. Is it supposed to be brownish pink? Probably not, right?
And I turn my head over to the pyramid of all of the different like fluids and whatnot, and I point up to the third row of it or whatever, and that's where all the pink transmission fluid is.
Yeah, not supposed to be brown. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I probably should do it now because, well, I know I'm not going to get around to bringing the car in again until I absolutely have to, so probably should get this out of the way.
Well, we'll get you out of here in no time, Brooke, okay?
Sure.
So Sam is actually the one doing the work, but because I'm like supervising this, do you all think nerd makes sense for that?
I think so, yeah.
It feels really weird to roll nerd to fix a car, though.
I feel okay about it. Just because it's the mental thing. It's that's the theater that we're in, right?
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna roll these. That's Snake Eyes.
Oh, no.
So
Sam has not been paying attention, and this is not what they really want to do with their lives. They're just sort of here to try and make a little cash on the side so they get their real business going. So Sam is only sort of half paying attention to you.
Oh, and you know what? I think that the problem is I'm also only half paying attention to Sam. I think that my initial read on it was like, okay, you've opened the guy down in the pit has opened up the transmission drain. We've got you've got whatever we're going to run through it to clean it out. Like, you've got this under control. And I think I come back around to the window to talk to you, Brooke. And I think it's just like idle idle chat. Like, so you coming to you going to the game Friday night?
Yeah, probably. Is that Sam back there? I didn't know they were into cars.
Oh yeah, they've been working at the shop here the last year or so.
Okay, cool. Well, that's probably better than the tarot card thing.
The thing is, like, Sam has been pretty solid, like, in the pit. Like, I'm really glad to get them kind of up on their feet. But no. So if you're coming to the game, do you want to come up to do you want to come up to the booth? Perfect view of the field, right on the 50.
Yeah, sure. If you don't if you don't mind that I don't know what's going on about half the time. Yeah.
I mean, how many newspapers do we have in this town even to put a reporter up there anymore?
I mean, we got that one
great.
little neighborhood newspaper, but yeah. I think it's really just a church newsletter.
One of these days I'm going to get off that prayer list.
I don't think you can get off the prayer list. I think just like as soon as they learn your name, you're on the list.
Well, I don't know. Let's see if I can get onto one of the other good lists anyways. Hey Sam, how's that going up there?
I know there's somebody that's on their prayer list.
I think yes, I think Sam's certainly on there, but Sam's never there.
So, right. But they all pray for them to turn away from the evils of devil worshipping tarot cards.
Yeah, and Sam plays up like the occult thing, so I'm thinking like they have a lot of like sort of goth looking piercings and things like that. And I think what happens is Sam, like in the basic training stuff, like Sam knows like this is how you reach in to get to this part of the engine to just to unscrew this thing and open this thing up to check. And they sort of lean in. They're trying to do things a little fast. Maybe they've got something else to do. Maybe they're just trying to get done with this particular job quickly so they can get out of here. But I'm thinking like they reach in and like one of the piercings like on their chest gets caught in like one of the joints and they get stuck.
Oh no.
And I think while they're down there, like they had one of those little hoses for the fluid to like fill fill the transmission fluid back up after we did the flush. And like as they're struggling to try and like move themselves just enough to get unhooked from whatever part of the engine they're stuck on, they accidentally like jam that thing in there and it starts spraying everywhere. So you got this pink spray just going various directions out of the top of the car down into the pit where who's down in the pit again? Like Willie or somebody like that?
Yeah. I think it's like Milt.
Milt, okay. And Milt's like, what the hell, Sam? I can't. The hose is stuck, and I can't. I'm stuck on this. And you see, like they've like got both of their knees like up on the like hood part of the car that's not part of the opening, so that they can try and like move around. And so they're almost sort of like reverse crab walking around to try and get to a vantage point where they can like pull themselves out. And
I'm trying to hit like the shut off valves on the hoses just to stop this all spraying all over the place. And like by the end of it, I think I take Sam like out the we open up the big front like drive-through door to let the fumes of the transmission. I don't know if transmission fluid has fumes. I put it on camera. It's real. But just like to get try and get the smell out. And I'm like, Sam, can you come with me for a second? And like we walk around the side of the building, and like and like Cory's voice is just like when Cory comes back around the side of the building, like his face is just bright red from trying to keep his his voice from matching like his like physical intensity level right this second. And like I'm just boiling, and I'll come back to the side of the car, and I'll say, Brook, I'm so sorry. This is on the house today. We are going to take care of this for you. We're going to get this cleaned up.
That would be good.
We've got the loaner.
That happened before.
We've got the loaner out back if you need to be someplace. I'll pull the keys out, and it's like a 92 Escort hatchback in the back. I say it's not much, but it'll get you around. We should be done with this in an hour, but like come back by whenever it's going to be convenient. Give us a call. I'll make sure that someone's, and I'll turn to Sam as I say that, here to give you the keys.
Oh yeah, okay, cool, thank you, because I do have an errand to run, and I'm sure this thing, like, I'm sure it has to have some quirks, right? So it's like kind of jerks out of the parking lot with it. Maybe it's a stick shift, and maybe I have hardly ever driven one. So I'm like jolt out of the parking lot.
And nobody likes the loaner either, so it's probably hadn't been driven in like at least a month, probably more.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the loaner for a reason.
So, and it, like you can see, like Sam is still holding like their chest right, where they have that one piercing that kind of got caught on that one flange or panel or something. They're sort of grimacing a little bit.
Yeah, that looks painful.
And like I'm going like down into the pit to go get like one of the big like industrial sized packages of like kitty litter for like cleaning up like oil spills and stuff. I think that the visual of like the dust coming up from that, like as I'm like spreading that here in the garage, I think that's a good place to cut.
Yeah, perfect. Excellent. Okay. So I have a question. How does Gus find out this ring is stolen property?
I think that we've sort of established that the main publication in the town that basically everybody seems to get, because the church has everybody's home address, and there's just like that one church in this town that almost everybody goes to if they go to church at all.
Oh, there's a bunch of churches, but everyone goes to this one. The others have like 5 people in the congregation.
Look, there are a lot of ill parishioners in this county. Okay.
So like the big church newsletter has a lot of people on the prayer list, and some of the people actually have like specific things. Like there's just a big long prayer list that has everybody's name on it. And then there's some of those actually have specific things listed, and like Gus for whatever reason happened to glance at the news at the church bulletin from last week. And like one of the things on there is pray for, everybody please pray for Miss Betsy. Some of her jewelry was stolen, and her favorite ruby ring that she got when she visited Egypt that one time was part of what was stolen. And please pray for its safe return. It has a lot of sentimental value to her. And like Gus just happens to be like thumbing through that, and it's like sees that and goes, looks at the ring. And he mutters, damn it, Billy. And like that's the cut for that part of the scene. And I think the next part of his scene would be him trying to find Billy. Now, whether Billy is findable at this point is going to be an open question.
Oh, I know where Billy drinks.
I bet he's still going to the slippery slope.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's definitely going to the slippery slope.
So that might be where, like, that night, unless we want to do a scene before it hits nighttime. Like, Bethany, did Brook have a errand you want to do while it was daylight, and then we can shift into the meeting during happy hour at.
Yeah, I think I don't think I didn't have any specific thing in mind other than like I think Brook is probably going to go look at the at Barber Pond and make sure like okay, this is a good spot, and like that maybe pick up the trash that's been left there, because people do go there occasionally and enough to leave trash. But that doesn't need to be a scene.
Okay. So come about let's see. I guess probably in this town, like happy hour starts at like 5 and goes until like maybe 7. Does that sound about right?
Right, yeah.
So like Gus heads in right after work, and he goes over to the slippery slope, and we see him kind of pull into the parking lot, and he's still driving a motorcycle because it was cool back when he wanted to be in a band, and this is what people in bands, had. You either had a really cool van, which you couldn't afford, or you had a motorcycle, which you could afford. And this would be an old crappy motorcycle, but he's managed to like fix it up just a little bit to make it look like it's still in pretty decent shape. But it's still like a 1965 Indian motorcycle or something, like old style.
Yeah.
Like it is not like a fancy Harley. It is not like, sleek looking Kawasaki or anything like that. Like nothing pretty, nothing nice, but you can tell it's got a good engine on it, and he keeps it relatively clean. But he pulls up in the motorcycle, and everybody knows it's him because he's the only goofball in this town that still drives one of those old motorcycles.
Oh, I have a really important question. Does Gus wear a helmet?
I think he does wear a helmet, but it's like he has a like a seriously like rock and roll helmet. Like he bought like a standard just like black helmet, and then he like did like an airbrush treatment on the side using some of his dad's like detailing equipment. So it's actually like painted with auto paint, which really doesn't work. Like it's not going to last very long because it's not designed to stick to that kind of material. But the airbrushing equipment let him do some really swanky stuff on it. It's quality wise, it's absolutely terrible, but like for awesome swank quality, like it looks really cool. So like he pulls up, and like everybody in the bar can probably hear that ridiculously loud motorcycle. And he like puts his helmet, leaves his helmet there, like hangs it on the side of the motorcycle, because this kind of town, like people don't worry about that sort of thing. Or didn't up until Billy and his stealing from old ladies. So, and he like straightens his back a little, rolls his shoulders, takes a couple of deep breaths, and walks back in to the slippery slope. And it's probably been at least 5 years since he's been in there. And see who else might be in the slippery slope. We established that Billy's probably in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You think maybe Billy's like a regular, so maybe he has like a booth that he's always sitting at. Like he shows up right after work and he's got like a booth somewhere.
Yeah, who else is there? Let's see. Let me look at this list of NPCs because we have a ton of them. Joe the musician, who is probably was not in that band, but like I wonder if she and Billy like they probably talk a lot about the bands that they were in respectively, and how that band never went anywhere, but one of these days they're gonna get, and they keep talking about, oh, they're gonna get into it, they're gonna form a band together, and they never have.
Like as soon as they find a drummer.
Yeah.
And the other trouble is like their styles of music are not anywhere similar at all. Like maybe Joe, let's see, what would be like an interesting style for Joe? Maybe Joe does like Irish folk rock kind of stuff, like not quite like stuff like the Dropkick Murphys, but like she uses similar like tunes and things, like very folksy sort of rock music, whereas like Billy really wants to go for the more like hair metal kind of stuff.
I mean, actually, the Dropkick Murphys might be the point where they intersect.
Oh, well, yeah, possibly.
I think both Billy and Joe think the Dropkick Murphys are terrible, though.
Right, yeah.
That's where the breakdown is. Like they're awful. The only place that their music could actually meet in some sort of happy performable medium would be a Dropkick Murphys cover album or something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's going crazy here.
So Joe's in there. Is there a band there tonight? I don't think Billy or Joe are probably like playing there because they're both single musicians right now. They don't really have a band yet. So
it's like the new high school band.
Maybe the only drummer in the county left. Like they moved to the big city or something. So there's literally like there's maybe 4 musicians like that would play any kind of like gig music, and none of them is a drummer.
So the good news is there is a new drummer in town. The bad news is his name is Roland, and he's being used. He's a drum machine that these like 2 17-year-olds with a guitar and bass are like accompanying themselves with. I think that what they're playing would sound like. It would sound like the Police if the bass player could keep rhythm. But that reggae bass feel is just off. Guitar player's okay.
Most guitar players are okay. Like if you play a guitar in public, you're probably at least okay. Yeah, the problem is if you don't have the rhythm section down, then that's gonna,
Roland is tight though, right on beat all the time.
So you got who's throwing them off? Like
it's the bass. Roland is a drum machine.
Yes, it's got to be the bass player, right?
Yeah.
The bass player. Oh, the problem is like he doesn't want to just do rhythm, which is kind of the thing the bass is usually responsible for. He like really secretly, or not even so secretly, wants to be like the lead guitarist, but he gets stuck with the bass, so he keeps trying to play melodies and forgetting about actually keeping any kind of rhythm.
So he and the bass player, I mean, he and the lead guitarist right now, who's probably also the lead singer, because it's that small. It's a 3-person band. Like they're constantly like playing at each other or across each other. So like kind of like that Will Ferrell skit with the cowbell, like just constantly in each other's faces about it. And Roland's back there just. He's got his like stoic drummer face on.
Oh, can I give you a picture of Roland?
Okay.
Hang on.
Can you do a screen share on here? Oh yeah, you can.
Okay. Can you screen share? Share screen. Okay, here we go. Screen sharing is easiest way. Screw off. Application window. Chrome tab. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm going to try this, and then I'm going to go over here. Can you see Roland?
Wait. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Oh.
that's Roland.
It's not a person. Okay, I was thinking you were saying, oh, Roland is really good at being at drumming.
Oh no, Roland is literally a drum machine, and
Okay.
because it has a name like a person, they refer to Roland as a person.
Okay, I completely thrown me off. I was thinking,
that's okay. Sorry.
Roland's really good at being a drummer. Like he's radical. No.
He is. He's like amazing.
But Roland is just a machine. Gotcha.
Yes.
Perhaps one day he will reveal his sentiments, much like we in our previous night's game. Okay. So basically with that the two guitarists are constantly like battling with each other, ruining what would otherwise be a fairly mediocre band.
Yeah, it's gone from mediocre to just bad. I went so. How long does it take before they're just actually fighting?
I think they haven't gotten to that point yet. But I would figure. Let's see, how many times have they played together, this band?
I mean, long enough to get together the money for a drum machine.
Yeah, so they finally gave up on finding a drummer and just pulled their money and bought the drum machine.
Yeah, although if one of them is a case, then they probably didn't take that long to save up the money. Otherwise, it probably took them a while. So they've been playing together for a while.
Oh God, is one of them a case? Which one of them is?
Probably.
Is it the lead guitar or the bass player? It's got to be lead guitar.
I think the lead guitar. Yep. Yeah, that's one of the cases.
And maybe the bass player is actually like a better lead guitar.
Yeah, that's why he's so mad. And keeps trying to show it that he really is better, and it's not working.
Well, it shows that he's probably better. The problem is nobody can tell because the music's now so disjointed that it all just sounds like a really bad cover band. Instead of the mediocre cover band they could really be if they put their minds to it.
Yeah.
So,
aspirational, I love it.
Aspirations of mediocrity.
Yep.
Okay, so Gus walks in and he's sort of looks around, sees Billy back at the back, and that's probably like the booth that they used to have when they came here. Like that would be their in between sets booth. And he's like, God, still, and he starts walking back towards Billy, and I think he walks up and says, "Hey, Billy, does anybody want to play Billy here?"
Yeah, I was going to say, Bethany, do you want to play Billy or do you want to play Joe, or what do you want to do? I don't know if either of the other PCs are going to make it in a scene.
Right. You seem to have some ideas about Billy, so I'll play Joe.
Okay. I'm sorry, Chris. Can I ask you one more time what you just said when you strolled up?
Hey, Billy.
I think there's a half empty pitcher, and the glasses here are really short, but the pitchers here are really cheap. And Billy says, "Wow, look who walks in. 5 years you haven't been in here. Now, to what do I owe the occasion? You're not trying to get the band back together now that we're all settled up, are you?"
Not exactly, Billy. Hey, let me ask you something.
Oh, Joe, this is I think that Gus was a year ahead of you in school. But
I remember Gus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never would have heard him over the rest of the band. It was fine.
Yeah, the rest of the band really didn't understand volume control, so they
look. Is this rock and roll or isn't it?
Well, it was.
Listen to these guys, and I'm pointing at the amplifier, like the obviously too large amplifier for this for this little bar, where he's got like half the dials like just turned all the way up.
Yeah.
So it's now it's just like disjointed screeching more so than any actual music.
Yeah, it kind of hides the fact that they're so bad at playing though, because you can't really hear much. It's just like this, disjointed screeching, and like you had to be better than these guys.
Well, we were definitely better than that.
It's good. It's good for the ambience though. Fits the place.
Does that?
It's definitely it definitely wants to make you drive off a slippery slope. So, but Bill, did you?
You mean you guys still have your? You guys still have your hearing?
A little.
After playing in this place?
A little. We still have a little. Like it didn't. Each of us has like one good ear.
Like and so like with you standing here, like I turn over to the bar and like I hold up my empty glass and I just point at it like one and ask, I'm asking for them to bring a glass over for you, but not before I pour another glass for myself out of the pitcher.
So Billy, did you happen to see this week's church bulletin?
Why would I start now?
Well, they send it to everybody. It's like, I'm not sure how they got. I think they just pulled the post office box list. But I was looking at the bulletin this week because I needed something to read on the crapper, and Miss Betsy indicated that she had a ring stolen that looked a lot like this, and I was wondering where you might have got that ring because I don't want to get in trouble if I need to pawn this thing.
You know what, Gus? I don't really like what you're implying with that.
I'm presuming somebody gave it to you. So, like, am I going to get in trouble for this? Like, do you know the person you got this thing from?
Do you want to try and roll a thing to like convince him of this?
Yeah, I think Gus is framing this, and it's probably a little bit of Gus not wanting to believe that Billy kind of sunk that low. Like, he doesn't particularly like Billy anymore, but like he doesn't want to believe that his old high school buddy is like stealing from old ladies. So like, so he's so I think that's kind of a risky thing. I'm trying to think of what I guess for social stuff is it prep to do like to do talky stuff?
Yeah, unless there's a reason, like unless you're doing it in a way that it definitely indicates one of the other ones. Which it might. I don't actually, the way you're doing it, you're trying to be like calm and reasonable, and so I think it would be prep in this case.
Let's see. I'm thinking like my access point is like Jock 1, Goth 1, so I think that puts me at prep -1.
Yep.
Okay. So let me see how that would go. Woo! Okay, that's boxcars.
We have the swingiest dice.
Yeah. Apparently green is good. Or at least for that roll. Okay, so that's an 11 total. Wow. A long time since I rolled boxcars in any game. Okay, let's see.
Don't forget that you can take a token to knock it down a level.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of if I want to let that swing. I'm thinking I kind of want to knock it down a level. Like, I think maybe like hit. I think Gus's. I think it comes across that Gus doesn't want to believe that Billy like stole from an old lady. So like the honesty part comes through, but maybe like Gus bringing it up in front of Joe. Maybe rubs Billy a little bit the wrong way. So maybe there's kind of a trade-off there. there's some sort of complication there. What would that complication be?
Oh, I think Joe has seen. Joe knows of previous things that Billy has stolen, and will be like, I thought you said you stopped, and like just kind of slam her glass down on the table and stomp out.
So as a suggested option, what I'll suggest is that you could give it back to me, and you could call us even, just like you did, a week ago when I gave you that. If you're that worried about it.
I think Joe has stomped out now, right?
Yep.
Okay. I think Gus leans back in the seat for a minute. He just gets it up and shakes his head and says, "You know what, Billy? Yeah, keep it. We're as even as we're going to be." And Gus walks out. That leaves Billy having to buy that extra drink, though.
Yeah, it does. This ring.
It's like a ruby ring, but it's missing like one stone.
Yeah. Like, what do y'all think of it being like a men's ring?
Maybe it was Betsy's husband's or something.
Yeah, and I think when you give it back to him, Billy like slips it onto his left pinky.
I don't think Gus even pays that much attention. He's just shaking his head. He's washing his hands of the whole thing.
Nice.
So you're back to not having the money, but at least you don't have stolen property.
Yeah, and he's pretty much given up on Billy at this point. Like I said, he was hoping that Billy hadn't stolen it. Like it was just something somebody gave him, and maybe he could, do something else with it. But
100% did not cop to that, though.
Yeah, he didn't cop to it, but like,
no.
But Billy didn't know Joe had been Gus didn't know that Billy had been stealing, and so Joe's like that was actually a revelation to Gus that Billy had been Billy had stooped to thieving, which was not something he thought that Billy would get into. So
I think
so that band reunion is out the window now.
Yeah. I think Brook is going to show up at the bar. Have to drink and have to kind of like, he doesn't trust the summer person, but like doesn't really have a concrete reason not to trust her, and like is maybe looking for a little bit of gossip on her. Maybe somebody knows something about her that like he could then just casually mention to Jordan about how she would be a terrible person to marry. So I think, yeah, in his now repaired car,
you probably see like Gus, going away on his motorcycle, because it's pretty distinctive with that ridiculous airbrushed helmet and that terribly loud motorcycle.
Yeah, I kind of wave like, "Oh, it's Gus." He would have been a good person to talk to. He kind of knows everybody. I'll walk in and like Joe has left. She probably knows everybody too. And Gus has left, but Billy's still there, and these kids are playing very badly. Like they're just aggressively dueling. Now there's no attempt to play any kind of song together, and Just filled with noise, and kind of like, okay, this was probably a bad idea, but while I'm here, I'm gonna get a drink. Who is tending the bar at this place? Is this somebody we know?
Oh, let's see.
Is it your weird cousin?
Oh God, yes. That's totally my weird cousin.
Let's see. Who
Austin is a weird cousin. Yep.
Okay. It is Austin, and I think. Did you, other than he's the kind of guy who would like find a coyote skull in the woods and like give it to their cousin as a birthday gift? What is the central point of Austin's weirdness? Like, what does everybody like look at Austin and go, he's a bit of a weirdo?
I think, yeah, I think he's kind of on his own wavelength. Like he's always, like, it makes perfect sense to him. Like his train of thought does, but he only says a small portion of it. So like he just keeps saying these things that seem to have nothing to do with the thing he said last time or anything that's like anyone else is saying.
Okay, so
he's sense to him because he doesn't realize that he hasn't like been talking all along.
So he's like a really off kilter 1990s Dennis Miller rant. Just like a string of non sequiturs that sound like they should make some sense somewhere, but really don't.
Yes.
And I think Austin like sees you come in and he's like, "Hey, Brook."
Hey.
And did you even know he was working here?
No. I probably wouldn't have come in. Or actually, I don't know. I don't know that I avoid Austin. He's weird, but like, he's weird in an interesting way. So I probably don't avoid him.
But he's weird in the way that like he fades in and out of sight. Like he's like he will probably not be working here like in a month.
Right. Like his whole thing, like he fades in and out of jobs, he fades in and out of sight, he fades in and out of conversations. Yeah, it's like he's just kind of, it all makes sense to him.
And then I'm not going to do it here, but like he's having to shout at you, like
yeah.
So it's what can I get you?
Whatever your cheapest whiskey is, and Coke.
And he pulls out this like it's like a white label, like a white plastic label, like you'd see on like a really cheap syrup bottle. It's that sort of whiskey. And this bottle might actually be like an old maple syrup bottle that somebody repurposed. Like this is whiskey that somebody made like near here.
Yeah.
And he said, this is the cheapest stuff, but this is really,
so it's 100% pure Vermont on it.
This is really good stuff. And you can tell like it's one of those like syrup bottle design bottles. So it's got like a little like imprint of a tree on the side.
Uh-huh.
And the little white plastic like stick on label is like over the top of it.
Yep, that's fine. That's fine.
And he like pours a little bit out of it, and then he pours in some Coke, pours a little bit more, pours in some Coke, a little bit more, pours in some Coke, and he sort of layers it.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's good.
He's like, here you go.
Yeah, thanks.
So what have you been up to lately? I haven't seen you in like, gosh, it's been like 6 months.
Well, so the only other notary is I don't know if he's sick or.
Oh, Jim, I heard he was getting married to somebody. I can't remember.
Jim, okay.
Yeah, I thought wasn't he going on a honeymoon with somebody? No, that was somebody
maybe.
Else. That was somebody else. That was James from that little church on the outside of town. No, not the Jehovah's Witness one, but the other like really.
Oh yeah, the something tabernacle. Yeah, them.
Yeah, the tabernacle people. like he started going out there and he met somebody and like they were going to get married, but they didn't want to do it at that little church because it's kind of tiny and rinky dink. So like they were going to go to not Vegas, but like somewhere classier than Vegas, but still not that expensive.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Probably, I think it was Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach. Yeah. Okay. That means he'll be back probably, hopefully.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be back. I mean, nobody stays in Myrtle Beach. That's crazy.
That's true. Okay, so I guess I won't be this busy forever, but you'd be surprised at how many people need witness signatures on documents.
Oh yeah,
I'm surprised no notary.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's good business if you can get it. Like, I once thought about being a notary, but they do background checks, and I was pretty sure I went past that, and I didn't want to get that done. Same reason I don't have my concealed weapons permit, or my passport, or driver's license, like, because they do those checks, and it's
background checks to get your driver's license, do they?
Are you sure they don't do that? I thought they did that. Like,
I never had to sign anything for that.
I mean, you got to show your birth certificate.
Commercial driver's license, maybe, but
you got to show your birth certificate and stuff, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, what's wrong with your birth certificate?
Oh, it's a certificate of live birth on it, so it's not like a real birth certificate. I saw that on like Fox News a while back. Like, if it says certificate of live birth, it's not a real birth certificate. So I can't.
Oh shit, mine says that too, I think.
Yeah, I think all of ours says that. So like, I'm not sure we're all.
I mean, has like some stuff crossed out by the doctor and filled in. So I mean, it looks real shady, actually.
Yeah, they used to handwrite all of that stuff. So
Yeah.
And especially like before we got the big hospital, like when they did all that stuff, like at the little hospital, like that was not a good scene.
Yeah, I mean everybody's birth certificate says they have the wrong birthday.
Yeah, they were all like there was one number off on everybody's birth certificate from the entire time that place was in operation. So.
Yeah. I was annoyed because I couldn't get my driver's license when I turned 16. I had to wait till the next day.
Yep, it screwed a lot of kids up when they went out for their 21st birthday and then like got busted.
Oh yeah.
Got busted for DUI.
They should have just come here. Nobody checks your ID here. So
now I have to check your ID.
I mean, it's based on a certificate of live birth, so.
Yeah, no, but I have to actually check it.
You know who I am. Oh, fine. Well.
One of these jerks will report me or something. Somebody. There's always a narc in the room.
Oh, I can't look at Billy. Like, I don't think he's. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. Hey, so does that Summer lady ever come in here? She's
kind of new. The school teacher person?
Yeah.
Oh, like every once in a while she'll come in here with whoever that is that she's been dragging around everywhere.
Jordan, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. He kind of has that like sort of weird curly hair like that guy from Greatest American Hero. It's really odd. I mean, if you look at his head, you're thinking, like, how does he do that? Like, why does his hair do that? And why does he let it? But you don't want to say anything because he might be he's got to be self-conscious about it now.
Probably, yeah. But so they come in here together a lot.
I mean, I wouldn't say a lot. I mean, I've only been working here like a few months, so.
Oh, right. I mean, she hasn't been here that long, so.
I mean, they've been in here a couple of times, and I just know her from when I occasionally pick up my kid.
Yeah, that's what I don't know.
It's not really my kid. Like it's my girlfriend's kid. Like I do the school pickup thing because I don't have to come to work until like 5 o'clock. So I usually pick them up from school, and then by the time I'm going to work, like she's getting off work from her job over at the plant. So like it's kind of a trade-off thing. But I kind of think of him as my kid, because like
No, I mean you've been.
I've been living. I mean, I've been crashing over there for like a month, so like I kind of feel like I'm here,
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
his dad's in prison. I feel like I'm providing a father figure for him. I feel like I'm a role model. Like not like the role models in that movie Role Models, because they weren't really role models, because that was just a big joke that like somebody
So
who's like doing what they're doing good stuff, doing good things.
yeah, so Summer, what's she like? I've never really talked to her. I know Jordan, but I don't know.
Why haven't you talked
kind of?
Why haven't you talked to Summer? I mean, she talks to everybody.
I don't know.
She's really talk.
Yeah, well, like Jordan and I were good friends, and then like that thing happened when somebody starts dating somebody new, and then like they kind of
they
take up all their time and disappear. Yeah, that happened, and like we haven't started talking much again. So that whole time, I haven't really talked much to Summer, and apparently they're getting married.
Yeah, it's really hard to talk to people when they're like in that little like pre-honeymoon thing.
Yeah.
They're all like like attached at the hip, and they go everywhere together, and they like go on these walks with each other, and like they lean into each other when they go to places. Like when they're sitting in the booth, like they'll like lean on each other, and like it's kind of cute, but it also gets kind of really annoying, because
yes, exactly. So like Jordan. I mean, I haven't talked to Jordan much lately, but like he's still my friend, so I kind of want to know like this person he's marrying. I think
she seems really nice. Like like in that sort of like she doesn't really seem like a school teacher to me. Maybe it's just because I'm older, But like she's really like young and like got that sort of like pretty thing going. It's like she looks way too young to be as old as she is, kind of thing.
Yeah,
she's been to college. She's got a degree. She was talking earlier that she had just finished her master's, and was like was thinking that was going to equal a new job somewhere or something. And I was like, how did you do that while you were teaching? It's like, oh, you can do it. You can do all that stuff online now, and like. And I was thinking like maybe I could get a degree online, like I could get a master's too. I was thinking, but I think they want you to
have an ID.
And they want a bachelor's degree first. And I went to college, but it wasn't an accredited college. It was like that place in the mountains in Missouri, and like it was there, and they said they were trying to get accreditation, but they would accept anybody, and they didn't really ask a whole lot of questions about your ID stuff. And so I was able to like that for years, but they didn't let me they gave me the diploma, like I've got it on my wall, but like it says like it doesn't say like baccalaureate or anything like that, like an official degree. It just says like a bachelor of like I can't remember what even.
Okay, yeah. It's that. But it's not like a real. You can't use it to get a master's. I get it, but so I think I'm actually gonna roll, and I think this almost have to be prep to like try to find out something about Summer, preferably something incriminating, but or not incriminating, but like.
Well, I mean, wow, you think she's into something like dirty, like I've heard, I've seen all this, I've seen stories about like people you think are really like quiet little school teacher types, like really being into some twisted stuff, like you think she's in like witness protection or something?
I hadn't gone quite that far, but sure, who knows?
Well, she shops at that little craft store.
Okay.
The craft place. It's like it's main highway. Like it's called like Knick Knack Paddywhack. You know that one. That it's in like that old like it looks like an old barn, but they sort of turned it into like a little shop and stuff.
Yeah, across from the flea market there. That's exactly. I know that. She's there a lot.
Oh, yeah, she was saying that she goes over there. She like buys this special yarn that they order for her because she's really into knitting. Like, and she showed me some of the stuff that she like knitted because she had knitted stuff for like Jordan and like and it was honestly really ugly. but like he wore it, and he was trying to really put a brave face on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad. Yeah. Okay. Like, I think I'm gonna like kind of try to weasel my way out of this conversation and go go there and see if I can see if I can find somebody I know who works there. I probably know somebody who works there.
Oh sure.
But in the meantime,
that's got to be the other place Sam works.
Oh yeah.
Like he only works part time at the Quick Lube, so that's his other place where he works part time.
Yeah.
Where they work part time. Sorry.
Yep, that's perfect.
And
cool.
yes, Summer has to be a juggalo. Like she's definitely an ICP fan. Like that's what she knitted. That's why he had to look so because Austin didn't recognize it, but like it's definitely like Shaggy Two Dope. Like it's a Shaggy Two Dope scarf, like done up like a Doctor Who scarf, but like it's got Shaggy Two Dope's face on it.
Perfect. So I think we come around to I don't know whose turn it is. Whoever's got an idea.
Was there a roll?
There was going to be, but
there should. It seems like there should definitely be a roll.
Seems like there should be a roll. Yeah.
Whether or not Austin was actually paying enough attention for any of that to be anything more than absolute bullshit.
Okay, yeah, like to see if this is actually a lead or if this is just Austin's guess that Summer is the kind of person who would frequent this place. Or like if anybody there would know her. Sure, that sounds good.
Because I think we established that Austin is kind of a interesting intellect. Like his brain works in different ways.
It's truly dizzying.
Yeah, I love that. I got a 3.
I get going.
Oh wait, actually that's not even a 3 because that's with prep, isn't it? So that is a 1.
No, for if you're rolling for Austin to see if he's like taking on the role that he does, wouldn't it be nerd for him? Try and see if he's observing all the right details and processing it. Like prep if he was talking to people and like really interacting.
Yeah, I failed, but
I'm saying it might not have been quite as terrible.
It could be a 4.
So who? I guess Barry, I think you're in the GM role there since I was playing Austin.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how this action could go wrong, and we narrate the rest of the scene. Oh, that's real easy. Like, so like it's the night before Jordan and Summer's wedding, right? And like is it weird if like is it cool if like Jordan and Summer are like they said goodbye to each other a little bit earlier today, so that they see each other tomorrow, like during the ceremony, and like Summer's just nervous, and so like she figured I'll just go out for a drink, and so she comes in while Austin is talking about her.
Yes.
She's got her scarf like tied around her neck.
I know. I thought she was making Jordan wear the scarf.
Oh, I'm sorry. My mistake. Is he wearing it in the ceremony?
Oh my God! Yeah, it's like a symbolic that
or is this like is this the something new?
No, they both have to wear the scarf. Like that's the final part of their ceremony because they did their own. Ceremony.
Like tie it around both of them.
Yeah, you tie it around both their necks, and that's the exchange of rings, kind of.
Oh, truly family.
Because rings are too bourgeois for them. They don't. It's just a false statement, and they really want to make it count with something homemade and heartfelt.
Right. So yeah, Summer walks in and she asks she comes up and she says my ears would have been burning, but it just started just now. How you doing, Austin?
Hey, Summer. Hey, I'm doing just fine. Yeah, we were just talking. Like, Brooke was talking about you guys getting married, and they were they were just chatting up here. That's what we do. It's a bar. We all talk. Some people come here to drink too, but honestly, it's really usually more talking than drinking because hardly anybody ever comes in here by themselves except for Billy, and Billy's only by himself because he's kind of an asshole.
It's more screaming than talking.
Yeah, right now, yes. Right now, it's more screaming than talking because
you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna walk over and unplug the amp.
Yes. And when as soon as the amp's unplugged, I think that Summer was starting her sentence loud and then brings it down halfway through. And she's Austin. Can I is all yelled, and then get a G&T, sweetie, comes down many decibels.
Sure, you got it. And Austin's still talking loudly because it's still ringing in his ears.
Yeah.
He's been in here for too long with that band. So he's turns around and starts looking around for the gin, and finally gets out the little tonic water thing. And there you go.
Oh, thanks a million. And I think she just downs it. And she's like, I am so glad that you are officiating tomorrow, because if I have the easy part, I don't have to remember any of the. I can do that. I can do that right now. I didn't even have to prepare.
Yeah, you're right. You totally and you're not gonna read any vows or anything. I mean, you can read them. You can just write them down. You don't have to memorize them.
Oh no, I was just gonna repeat them after you.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fine too. That's good.
No, my job is so easy tomorrow. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Brooke. Jordan and I are just so glad that you're going to be able to be part of our day. You really should have seen him at rehearsal, Austin. He really knocked it out.
Oh yeah, Brooke's got he's got an artist soul. He can really just bring out the beauty in almost everything. If Brooke's going to be officiating, I can tell you it's going to be an amazing.
Did he tell you where we're doing it?
No, he didn't. You didn't say anything about that. Where are you doing it?
I've had to tell everyone.
Was it supposed to be a secret? Am I not?
No. I'm so in my head about it right now. Brooke, what? Just
at the
tell
pond.
Where we're going.
At the pond, at just after sunrise. You've been there, right? When the mist just lights up. It's really pretty.
Oh yeah, the place that we don't name.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Railroad Tunnel Pond.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That tunnel. Yeah, the pond in front of the tunnel, and yeah. So actually,
that place is really pretty in the morning. I've woken up after many a bender out there, and it's always really, really pretty. It'll give you a real bad headache after the bender because it's really bright out there first thing in the morning. But it's still really pretty. It hurts, but it's really nice.
How often do you pass out in the railroad tunnel?
No, not in the tunnel, but right there by the pond. Because it's you get out there at night and it's nice and cool during the summer still, and it's a good place to do things that might get you in trouble if folk around town saw you and call the sheriff.
You know what, Brooke? Who among us, right?
Right. No, that is completely true.
Me. It was me among us. I did that.
See, yes, it was Austin. Yeah. I was just. Can anybody to take pictures? Because that seems like a good place to. Everybody wants wedding pictures, right? We should get somebody to take pictures.
Oh my God. I I'll be right back. And like she's like already dialing Jordan, and it's like, I know we're not supposed to be talking right now. How did we not think of getting a photographer for this? And then like she walks like outside of the bar, like having like not paid for this G&T. Hopefully she'll come back, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Of course she will. Of course she will. It's summer. I mean, she'll come back and like she'll tip extra because of the trouble.
Yeah.
She's just ridiculously, perhaps wholesome to a non-Euclidean degree. Like,
yeah,
it's actually cosmic horror level of wholesomeness.
I think Brook has given up on the idea of finding any dirt on her. Yeah, that's a. On the other hand, this after overhearing the beginning of that conversation, I don't know, maybe I'll go find Jordan at some point.
Well, if Jordan's not with her, then he's probably still at work, right?
Right. But like, if they're not supposed to talk to each other until tomorrow, right?
They're not supposed to talk to each other. I thought you weren't just supposed to see.
Or they're not supposed to see each other, right? Yeah, but
is there or did they?
So they're not going to be in the same place.
Well, yeah, they can't be.
It's my last chance to talk to Jordan alone before he gets married.
Oh yeah, y'all need to iron out this like photographer thing. Like, I mean, we used to have like a wedding photographer that did stuff here in town, but they moved it back to the city. So I don't know who they're going to get to do it.
I wonder.
The only person I know of that did, like, the person who they ended up getting to do the last photos, I think was Gus, because he just happens to have like a nice camera set up.
Yeah, that's right. He used to like have it on a tripod so he could film his gigs. Perfect. Awesome. I'm gonna go look up Gus. Or I'm not sure I want to look up. I don't know. Never mind. I'm not. And I'm like going to leave before I start to like hack out my internal
He says, "Look, go talk to Jordan later. Let Jordan. I'm sure they're going to work out the photograph stuff on their own. That's not your problem. You're not the photograph booker. You're just doing the vows. You're the ceremonialer."
Yeah. Okay. Right.
You just have to pick these two lovebirds together and just tie that scarf around their necks.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. Okay, so who is gonna do a thing?
Let's see. Well, probably just about everybody. Probably just about everybody knows either Jordan or Summer, right? Like one of those two.
Yeah, I mean, probably not a lot of people know Summer since like she's kind of a recent arrival to the.
Oh yeah, but she goes to the big church, so like.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah.
You're not sure if she's really like a true believer, but like she goes out there to socialize. She might
go there because everybody does, yeah. Or she might, yeah. Who knows?
Remind me what Jordan does.
I don't think we ever decided.
Okay.
What does Jordan do? I don't know. Jordan does whatever's convenient.
Why are you so in love with Jordan?
I don't know. Why am I so in love with Jordan?
Let's see. There's not what we know. There's a plant. I think I'd said there's like somebody works at the plant, right?
Yeah.
And like we know there's the craft shop. So.
What if?
Oh, Brake Pad Factory. Yeah.
Yeah. And okay. Where would Jordan have met Summer? There we go.
They met at the pond.
Oh.
Like okay. That's why the wedding's there. Like it's where they first met. Like they first met there at a party or something.
Oh, okay, I know. So that pond, Jordan is doing some kind of like one of those citizen science projects where you like sample for stuff and you send in the information to the. There's something in that pond that like that he's studying or recording or.
Is there a pond monster legend?
Oh, there's for sure a pond monster legend. Well, could be a ghost, could be, but I like pond monster better.
Ghost pond monster.
Yeah. Well, somebody said it died, and then somebody else said they saw it, so.
Obviously, ghost pond monster.
Yeah.
That's another reason for Austin to be out there. Like he keeps trying to go out there late at night and like get a picture, but he always gets too drunk or high and passes out.
Yeah. So has Gus ever gone out there to take pictures?
I think Gus I will bet Gus has gone out there to like play music, like in like a place where he thinks will maybe be a little more inspirational or something. Like, cause the places where he normally plays, like, still has all of those memories attached from the band. Like,
right.
Slippery Slope, they used to play there. Pretty much everywhere he could play in town, the band used to play. Like, they used to practice at his house, at his dad's place, in his dad's old like workshop garage place. Like, everywhere he could practice around home or around town, bad memories. So he occasionally goes out to the pond to just play.
Cool. Okay, can we do something with that?
See, if we're doing the next morning, like Gus might definitely be out there like late afternoon. He might have gone out there to clear his head after talking with Billy.
And like the like things are like all set up out there. Like it's all like white plastic patio chairs in lines. And then like
it's like a big tarp or something over where the chairs are, so they don't get dew on them. Overnight.
Yeah. And then like where the like up in the front of that where the bride and the groom will be, there's like a little bit like rusty metal, like a garden feature or something that I think was like I think Summer got like a really good deal on it at the flea market, and she thought this would be like perfect for the ceremony.
Oh yeah.
Like an old wrought iron kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think you grow like a rose bush on or something.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So maybe Gus is there, like with his acoustic guitar playing, and
oh my God, is he doing wedding music?
Oh yeah, he totally is. And like, yeah, I think I could easily show up there. And I mean, this is kind of a place that anybody could show up at any time.
Maybe, well, maybe dang it, Cory. Maybe Cory could be out there helping to set up.
Oh yeah,
because he knows either Summer or Jordan or maybe both, and like he was one of the friends that are like helping get everything set up.
Yeah, I think like that like Jordan used to play he was on the defensive line, so we go back, and like I still think it's a little bit weird that he didn't like ask me to be in the ceremony, but I guess they didn't ask. I guess it's just going to be the two of them, and then like the officiant, and yeah, so I think I'm loading out that big wrought iron feature from the back of my pickup truck.
Perfect.
I think he gets out there and maybe he sees you doing that and he comes over to help, and maybe about that time is when Brook sort of manages.
Yeah, kind of come wondering. I think I coming through the tunnel instead of from the road, and carrying something. I think I was kind of lying when I was like, oh, I don't know who could possibly have a camera because I'm carrying a video camera. And this is like, Jordan was sampling this place. It wasn't so much science as it was like, he was trying, there were some like YouTube ghost hunters who put out a call for like, hey, tell us about the ghosts where you live and maybe we'll come and do a show. So that is when he met Summer at the pond. He was out there like, kind of taking water samples, and I was with him with the camera. We did not see a ghost. We did run into Summer. And I kind of really haven't talked to Jordan one-on-one since then because, like, yeah, he just immediately, Summer was everything, or was like the entire world as far as he was concerned. So yeah, I think I've come up here with that camera, and not really expecting to see a lot of people here. But hey, you're here, cool. So I'll help unload this big rusty metal. What's this, like a trellis? Okay, cool, whatever.
One of the
that's what that's called.
The trellis, is that what it is? I thought that was like a railroad bridge thing. No, that's a trestle, right? Oh
yeah.
No, a trellis is what you climb up on to go and meet your star-crossed love, I thought.
Yeah, exactly. It's a thing that, yeah. Oh shit, are they gonna do that? Because that's just, no, come on.
They're not going to climb on this thing. It's only like 4 feet high.
Yeah, and I mean, it's somebody's gonna get lockjaw from it.
Tetanus. Yeah. That's not going to be good.
I hope they're not gonna do that.
Yeah. Brook, I heard they've got you. They've got you helping to officiate, right?
Yeah. I got it all memorized. It's
I know they asked me to play a little bit, although they didn't really give me a whole lot of direction as to what the heck they wanted to play. They just said like, hey, just some nice wedding music.
What the hell, Jordan? Like, Brook, you didn't say anything about this yesterday. Like, like Gus, I get it. Like, you gig's a gig, and like, you were always all right, but like. All I'm doing is helping move this rusty metal. God damn it, Jordan.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing like the old school like wedding ceremony thing. I think it's just like there's going to be the two of them, and there's going to be and obviously going to be Brook up there. And aren't they doing some sort of like little like knot tying ceremony?
Yeah, with that scarf, that god awful scarf. Have you ever seen Jordan wearing it? That thing.
It's got like ghost faces on it or something.
Wait.
Yeah, that one.
They're not. You're officiating this thing. Didn't you tell them that like a ring is like tradition? Whatever. It's their wedding.
They know. I mean, it's they. I don't know. They said something about rings, and I think I don't know. I think there's probably rings too, but it's some kind of symbolism, it kind of falls apart every time I try to explain it, to be honest.
Yeah, was it like a Celtic knot tying thing? But they're doing it with like that weird.
Yeah, but it's gonna like wrap all the way around them instead of just their hands.
But I guess
scarf, but would that do it? I don't.
If that's what they picked, then I'm sure that it's perfect for that. I mean, they're so good together. Like that only makes sense.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I think she made it from. I think that's what. Well, I mean, that's what Austin said. And who the hell knows? It's
Austin.
Austin. Yeah.
That's. I mean, no offense, Brook, but it's Austin. I mean, He was. I found him out here like 2 or 3 days ago, passed out at like when I came out here. To try and check out where I could set up my amp and stuff.
I was kind of hoping
he was like passed out over there. Like he points over to the other side of the pond.
I was hoping he meant that was like years ago, but I guess that's still an ongoing thing. Okay, cool. Well, doesn't seem to have hurt him. So I guess.
No, I mean, all he does is like get out here and he apparently smokes a bunch of pot because I could still smell it like the next morning. Like it.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
He's lucky the sheriff is too lazy to like come all the way down here because you have to walk for like 10 minutes from the road to get here.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I don't know. Have you met the sheriff? I mean, he'd probably just ask to share and, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I remember
confiscate the baggie and smoke it himself.
Yeah, I remember the sheriff came by like the auto shop a while back, and they're like, every couple of months they come through and do like a business license check because I think somebody at the county is really racketeering to make sure everybody has a business license. And they busted some guy for mowing lawns without one a while back. Like you remember that? Like
yeah.
Jimmy used to like cut the grass for like a bunch of the churches, and like they pay him like $50 or something like that every couple of weeks. And then the sheriff came through and like busted him for not having a business license with the county. Because the council's really trying to crack down on that stuff. Because
I mean, it's the what's his name case behind that. But
and I mean, I know he's got like a groundskeeper, but like the rest, everybody else has to like just hire somebody like Jimmy.
Yeah. I mean, probably one of the cases wants to start up a lawn care business. Be my guess.
That would really be slumming it for them, but yeah, maybe.
Some great nephew or something.
Oh man. So, yeah.
So, yeah. Did either of you really know Summer? Because, I don't know, she just kind of showed up one day and...
I mean, she's not from here.
Yeah, she like came here, which is always a little bit suspicious.
Like, who comes here?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's...
Now, well, occasionally we get those YouTube weirdos, but...
Yeah, but they don't stay...
Ghost hunters.
Or the monster hunter people.
Kind of like push the camera into my I'm wearing I'm wearing dorky cargo shorts and I like stuff it into the pocket of my leg.
It's like one of those little it's like one of those little GoPros, but you actually put like a ghost hunter logo thing on it.
Yep. Totally. Ghost Pro.
Oh man, yeah, they call their camera the Ghost Pro camera because and it's
yeah.
So okay, so all right, I'm gonna set up in key points over I'm gonna set up my amp over there. I've kind of cleared off the spot over there. I came out here with the weed eater a while back and just sort of flattened out the grass over there, so I didn't have to deal with a whole lot of stuff. And I'm going to bring out the battery pack too. So I've got like a basic wedding music playlist, but it's just going to be me. So they're going to be dealing with an acoustic guitar with plugged into an amp. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's they wouldn't have asked you if they wanted something different. Like what else could they possibly be? Yeah, I do actually now finally have an idea of the problem I'm working on here, and it's absurd as hell. Because okay, look, if you got that, if you don't need a hand, I'm gonna go walk around the pond a bit.
Okay, yeah. Be careful over on that side because there's part of the edge, part of the shoreline is sort of collapsing down into the pond again. So if you get too close on that edge, it's really slippery.
Yeah.
You'll end up soaked. I mean, the water's still only about maybe 12 feet deep, but you'll have to paddle over to the side and climb up, and you'll be filthy because the water's filthy.
Yep. I'm gonna walk around there, and this probably is gonna require. I can't imagine this not requiring a roll because I am looking for evidence of a pond monster.
Yes.
Because if there's a pond monster and I can I don't know.
Please
spur it into causing some destruction. Obviously, the wedding has to be postponed.
Please roll boxcars for this. Please roll boxcars.
What am I rolling?
This got to be plus nerd.
Nerd. Okay. So that is a 5, and my nerd is 1. That's a 6.
You've got no tokens. Oh.
Yeah, I think I've got 1 token. And I can't really do a whole lot with that.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a failure because there's no pond monster.
Well, I know what I was thinking of. Like, it doesn't mean there's no pond monster, but it also means like I think you find like, maybe what if you find like evidence that somebody's been faking the pond monster?
Mm-mm.
Like somebody's been out here trying to fake some photos and fake some video, like that old Loch Ness monster stick. Like photographing the log at a strategic angle kind of thing. So you find like maybe some sort of like little wooden floaty that's been spray painted white, that sort of almost fluorescent white paint, the sort of stuff that's supposed to glow in the dark a little bit. And it's like stuffed under some brush on the edge of the pond.
Yeah. And I kind of look at it for a minute and I'm like, oh shit, Jordan's doing this, right? Like he's the only other person interested. I mean, really, he's the only person interested in it. I'm only interested in it because he's interested in it.
And Jordan's really good at woodworking.
Yeah.
He's a hobby woodworker. Damn it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so I just kind of look at it and shit. Okay. Oh. No. I could probably use this some way to disrupt the whole wedding thing, but at the same time, I'd be kind of ratting out my friends, so fine. Like, kind of shove it back under the log.
Maybe it's stuffed inside like an old hollow log there. They're always strategically located at any point you need them to anywhere in the woods.
Yep.
So I'm not sure about something. I want to throw it out there. Like from like a narrative perspective, like there's 2 things that absolutely seem like they have to happen at this point. One of those is you have to have your conversation with Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And the other is the actual wedding, right?
Yeah.
Like, so Chris, I'm curious how much more we want to push the Billy Gus plot.
I'm not sure there's really a whole lot more to do there. It'd be interesting if we had like another hour or so, but we don't. Like that would be an interesting like side scene. But the wedding seems to be like the focal point of this story.
Yeah, 100%.
Like we need to do that. You need to have that conversation with Jordan, and then the wedding needs to happen. And one of either first or later, one of those 2 has to happen. And then the other.
I think I know how to do both pretty quickly. Well, I know how to put the conversation with Jordan in.
Okay.
Just like the next morning, he kind of shows up. Before the wedding. Like the sun's just barely up, because he's remembered about the stuff he has hidden, and that like he wants to make sure it's well hidden since a lot of people are going to be here. And Brook's just sitting on the log waiting.
I'll take Jordan. And so like when he comes out, he's just in sweatpants and a t-shirt. Like he'll make himself presentable like after this, but he came up this morning to just like to make sure that everything's where it's like everything's set up, everything's perfect, and like and maybe just maybe if he's really lucky, Summer will have also had the idea of coming out, and like I know like our whole thing was like we're not supposed to see each other, but like what if it's an accident, then that's okay. So that's what he's got in his head. And so when he sees you here, he's like, "Oh, Brook, what are you doing out here so early? Like, we don't need you till like 1:00."
Just thought I'd come out and make sure nobody was passed out here, threw trash around. Wouldn't want anything.
I suppose the chairs and stuff would have like invited that if kids were out last night. No.
Yeah, I mean,
thanks for
throw them in there.
Thanks for having our back. Here, help me with these tarps. Let's get these off so that these get the like a little bit of the morning sun.
Yeah. I'm like starting to pick up the tarps. Like, so your dummy monster. Might want to make sure it's hidden a little better. It kind of stands out a little bit if somebody comes up around that pond.
Do you think that that's a role for something?
It could be like how he reacts to that. Since I don't think Brook is supposed to know about that. Sure.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That's Snake Eyes.
Yes. Oh, we're so good at dice. So Chris, how do you think that getting called out so unceremoniously is going to affect Jordan on his wedding day?
I think my suggestion would be like Jordan kind of goes into he goes into kind of this sort of apologetic shock. He's like, because his brain is completely focused on the wedding. Like everything he had in his head focused on the wedding. And he wasn't even, maybe when he came out here, he wasn't thinking he needed to clean up that. He was worried he needed to clean up, like after he needed to like clean up everything else maybe. And maybe he just thought when he got out there, oh yeah, I left that stuff over there by the log. I need to make sure and make sure that stuff is out of the way in case any of the kids or anything that show up for the wedding go wandering around over there. So maybe that part was kind of an afterthought. Like he had originally come out here to like, get the tarps off and stuff like that. And then he remembered, oh crap, I left that thing right over there. I didn't take it back to the shop like I usually do.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Oh my God. You weren't supposed to see that. I'm sorry. Summer always thought it was like the coolest thing that we had this lake with this weird legend and like all of these like stories about like just the property and the like the name of it, and like I just thought it would be cool to have that for us.
Wait, you were gonna? It's part of the wedding?
No, just the.
I mean, that's
the legend of it. Like, you gotta help me get this. You gotta help me get this stuff back to the shop. I totally blanked on it. It's gotta stay. It's gotta stay real for her. Like, the pictures and stuff online. Like.
Yeah. So, you were just gonna take pictures of this and send it to them? Or was this a separate thing?
No, all the blurry silhouettes and stuff. That's like, you remember that guy Cannon? Like when we were on the football team, like we'd come out here and drink, and he helped me put this stupid thing together so we could take blurry pictures on our shitty cameras at the time. And so like we put them up on some of those free image sharing sites, and I thought the legend of it was cool, and Summer thought the legend of it was cool. But we just gotta get this stuff out of here now. God, we don't have any time. I need to go get dressed. I need to shower. I need to do those in the right order.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'll take care of it.
Are you sure you've got this?
Yeah, I got it. Go.
Oh my God, Brooke. I knew we picked the right person to officiate this wedding. You have been so awesome. You've been so helpful. I'm so glad that you get to be part of this with us.
Yeah. Yeah. Go on. I'll get it. It's fine. I'll just hide it somewhere. I don't.
And like Jordan, like with that is like, okay, this is under control. Like Brooke has got my back on this. And as I kind of jog off the site so I can get headed back and get cleaned up and stuff. I'm like, we'll see you at 1.
Yeah, 1. Cool. That gives me some time. I like walk over and pull out the various pieces of the fake pond monster and I don't know. Do I want to? I am gonna put them on the trellis, but
no. If you put them on the trellis, that happens too fast.
I have an idea.
It needs to float out strategically during the summer, like onto the pond.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to put it together and I'm gonna like weight it down just a bit with like I don't know rocks. There's always like big chunks of gravel around a railroad tunnel. So I take some of those and I like kind of weigh it down, not well.
Maybe with an old grocery bag or something.
Yeah. I mean, it's designed to not last. And just in case I can't get to it and yeah. In fact, I think. Yeah. I like rig something. I have a thin, like a tow rope from my car, attached to it so I can just kind of walk up and yank it, to pull the grocery bag full of rocks off of it. Because what I want is for it to just float up at like the exact wrong moment.
And it has to be like on the wedding footage, so it has to be one of the shots where like they're looking. Yeah,
just when they're like just getting ready for the ceremony and everybody's like sort of lining up, and I'm gonna be like, kind of, I don't know. Hold up. I just want to check on something real quick, Yep, that's the plan. I don't know if that's a role or if like releasing it as a role, but I'm sure there's a role.
That's such a nerd role.
I really want that to be the role to release it because because there's so many things that can go wrong at that point.
That's kind of like
I love how you're willing to like totally burn your relationship with Jordan for this. It's like
yeah. I mean, he's already gonna leave town with his it's
petty revenge.
Yeah. My relationship with Jordan is over anyway. Yeah. So I think people show up and stuff.
Yeah, I think Gus gets there before too long. He starts like setting up his speakers, and he actually he has a setup to where he could set up one speaker on this side of the pond and one speaker on the other because they're like Bluetooth connected.
Oh, perfect. That gives me an excuse to like go check on your speaker.
And if you ask us, you'd be like, "Why is she checking on the speaker? It's Bluetooth. It's fine. And there's no wires or anything."
Just just to make sure it's turned at the right angle to get the signal. Yeah, that.
You're still looking. Most of these people in the town are completely technically illiterate. Like, yeah, you got to turn that Bluetooth to get it right.
Yep.
You got to put the blue part has to be pointed at the other blue part.
Yeah, it's like a remote control. You have to point it at the TV.
So okay. Who all is actually like invited to this wedding? Like I think it's established that Cory is coming, right? Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Jordan's family is coming, right?
Yeah, I don't know what Jordan's family is like, but I'm sure they're here.
How big of a family does he have? Like, is
Miss Betsy one of them?
Yes.
Miss Betsy has to show up. Like, everybody knows Miss Betsy. Like, we don't even know her last name.
She's doing a reading. Like it's not really. It's not something that Jordan and Summer had like planned on having, but I think like Summer's parents like really pressured her into like having just have something that your grandmother will recognize in the service.
Yeah,
but nobody's actually checked with Miss Betsy as to what she's reading.
Yeah.
So it could be anything.
Yes.
It could be the part about faith, hope, and love, and like the really nice parts you'd like to read at a wedding, or it could be like maybe she's still really pissed off about that ring, and she's going to read something about like that. Maybe it's that bit from Ezekiel that Sam Jackson liked to quote.
Just like literally reading one of the commandments over and over.
Thou shalt not steal. Repeatedly.
And some of those like really super draconian penalties from like, Leviticus, like just.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Although I really want to hear Miss Betsy read like the Ezekiel bits and you shall know.
I don't actually know any of them anymore.
I remember that part, like just because it was Sam Jackson and he said it, and I was like, "That's really cool."
Yeah, but yeah, I think like there's definitely more people than there are chairs because people heard about this and just kind of invited themselves.
Yeah, and it's a public place too, so you can't stop people from getting out.
Right, exactly. People would show up.
You don't book it, so on the upside, there's tons of like rocks for people to sit on and old trees.
Yep.
And like and unfortunately there's also that part of the shoreline that's kind of like crumbling a little bit, so there's like some bad roll could end up with somebody plunging into that, and
that could happen. Yes.
People who were invited definitely got invitations that said "No heels, please."
Yeah. Yeah. People who weren't invited, they probably still knew.
Yeah, everybody knows you're not going to wear heels out by this pond. Like,
yeah,
there might be some church lady folks that just have to appear at a wedding in like the full wedding regalia, like it's all heels, it's all like a full Sunday dress kind of thing. So they still had to show up with that. Just like there's some of those old guys that are coming dressed in their full Sunday suit.
Yeah, I think Cory shows up like dressed for Cory, like he's in just khakis and a button up. But
he's wearing a tie with a short sleeve shirt.
Yes, perfect.
Yes.
I know that guy.
Mm-hmm. That is the manager of a Jiffy Lube uniform. Yeah, I think. I think Brook has to go to his car and get like his, and like kind of change in the tunnel, because like he didn't actually have a chance to go home. But it's like, it's all black, whatever it is. In fact, I think it's like some kind of, like old-fashioned preacher sort of outfit, wedding goth. I mean, there's a string tie involved.
I I love the idea of wedding goth. Like that.
Yeah.
That's not a thing it should be.
Well, yeah. Brook is doing whatever his particular idea of wedding goth is. Yeah. And I think like I don't know. I don't know the order of things in weddings, but let's say there's music first.
There's usually like the entrance music, but since we're outside, like I don't know how that would work.
Oh, right. Well, I gotta go check that Bluetooth speaker and make sure it's okay.
Yeah. Maybe they walk over the hill. Like each of them walks over. One of them walks over this on this.
Or through the tunnel.
Oh yeah, one of them has to come through the tunnel. Maybe the bride approaches through the tunnel, and maybe he walks over the hill, or maybe they both come through the tunnel.
The processional is one of the spoken word introductions from one of the early ICP albums, of course.
And nobody recognizes it.
But it's read by somebody who like does the readings at the church. Not Miss Betsy.
Oh.
One of the people from the choir, one of the old men with like the really deep like.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, he did not get to review this before the ceremony.
And he's just reading it. He's not actually like trying
not
to
performing it.
He's reading it just straight, like he's reading the text from the holy book. Just and I don't know enough ICP lyrics to really make it stick. So like
a lifetime ago, I could have told you what the introduction to the Great Malenko sounds like, but boy, that was a long time ago.
But think of like old balding church man with super deep voice who does all the bass stuff in the choir music, just all the time and
yeah.
And some of the stuff he maybe has a little trouble pronouncing. I'm betting because it's ICP lyrics, and he doesn't know why it's in that order. He figures it must be some old translation. Like somebody found something in Aramaic. That's what this must be. Like this is.
Yes.
Okay, so and of course poor Gus has had no musical direction whatsoever, but he is over there. He is. I think he's dressed in like dark colored jeans because again nobody told him what the dress code was supposed to be for this stuff. So he's like dark colored jeans. He figured, well, dark pants, obviously. And then he's got like a dark sort of jacket on, but underneath the dark jacket, like he's wearing like a really ridiculously brightly colored shirt. Because he wanted to have, it couldn't be all dark because, there has to be some brightness in there. But he couldn't go with black and white because he figured that was just too boring. So maybe it's like a fluorescent green, just like a ridiculously bright fluorescent green with like black jeans and a sort of a black, like maybe not a sport jacket, but something very similar. And then this bright green shirt.
Yes.
Now, what kind of music should he play, like as the entrance music? Because there's going to be some sort of, I guess, entrance music as they walk through the tunnel, right?
I don't know. I wonder if this is a roll.
Let's do it. I love rolling, and I love the possibility of just completely ruining this. Okay, so, that is a 3. So yeah, let me see. What would that be? Do you think?
I'm thinking it would be goth, but you could argue for something else. But
he's got goth 1, but that's still not enough to make a 3 into anything useful. So it's definitely a 4. But I do have 1 token.
You do.
And I think I'm going to spend it so I don't ruin prematurely Jordan's wedding.
Right.
Because I want the wedding to be ruined properly. By Jordan's best friend, Brook. So I'm going to spend my 1 token to raise that up to a 7 to 9 result. So it kind of works a little, but there's a complication.
Yeah.
I think that like Summer's family is just like put off by all this, and like there should not be, like, talking and stuff during the processional, usually. and I think that Summer's mom and like a couple of her aunties are like talking and just like, what even is this? I cannot believe that this is it's the happiest day of my daughter's life.
No, maybe no. I've got it. Maybe Summer's mom is like the angry one, like in her family, and she's like, she's talking to her like her sisters and all of that, and she's like, look, this is my daughter's wedding. So help me God, if you ruin this, I will fucking end you. Like, and she's actually cussing at them like right there, like you can see like her mouth. She's doing it in a whisper, like.
Like that gets picked up on camera, right?
Yes.
Oh yes, definitely. Gus is there filming the whole thing.
Yes, good. The GoPro is like on swivel, so it's like it's like going from one side of the crowd back to the ceremony and back. While he's playing, it's just on that swivel to kind of get everything, So, and his musical choice was probably a little awkward for the more traditional folks in the crowd as well, because it's like maybe it's a rock mariachi version of Here Comes the Bride.
Perfect. Yeah, and I think this is when Brook decides to like dart around there and release the pond monster in the guise of this music sounds funny. Let me go check that speaker. Let me roll. God, what am I rolling for that?
It's either nerd or jock. It's either going to be nerd or jock to properly like do the physical act.
Yeah,
I like it as jock a lot.
I think so. Because like the nerd part's kind of already done. It's now like, hey, can I do this smoothly and like quickly and enough that nobody notices? Awesome. Let me see if I can change the snake guys. Wait, what? No, that seriously rolled snake eyes again.
Are you sure it actually re-rolled? Are you sure it re-rolled?
I am not sure. That's
delete the dice. It's the only way to be sure.
Yeah, because like that seems, I mean, not impossible, but kind of improbable. Let me try 2 new purple dice. Oh, there we go. That is not snake eyes. Hey, that is a 10. Plus minus jock. 10 minus 1. Okay, so that's a 9. What are the complications here? I can't imagine there could be any.
Oh, let's see. Well, it works. So the float obviously pops up, but maybe the complication is that it is when it comes up, like it causes a bit of a panic, like in the people that don't know, like all the locals, like all of them think the whole like ghost pond monster thing story is BS, right? They're like, it's nonsense. That's just YouTube silliness, some high school kids hijinks, that sort of thing. But
can I add something in here? Because this is like an inner tube or something that was weighted down, right?
Well, it's like a float. I think it's like a wood, something like carved in wood. So
okay.
It'll hold stationary, but it's definitely got a flotation device on it.
Yeah, like if
stay afloat.
If that if something in the flotation device like releases like bubbles first, and like, I mean, this is the lake. This is Barber Lake. Like, we know that that guy killed one. We know that guy killed one guy. They found that body, but who knows what could be out here? And like bubbles from the middle of the lake, like in this quantity, are like drawing the attention.
And it's super like a lot of bubbles. Like it's like like that. You remember that I don't know if you ever saw the old Godzilla cartoon, but they had that bubble effect before Godzilla like rose out of the water, and it looked like you were literally like boiling the ocean. That's like the level of bubbles coming up out of this tiny little pond
under this layer of glowing fog.
Yeah, and that really disgusting looking like pond scum that just is floating everywhere. Like so, yeah. And so that you've got people like in those chairs that just sort of glanced over there, especially people from out of town, just start screaming and running.
Oh, and somebody's got to run across that loose patch of the bank.
That's Summer's mom. No, one of her older like aunts. Like, somebody that looks really terrible
and Brook is the one closest to it, so I mean obviously he has to be the one to jump in and pull out the ant.
Yep, that's got to require a roll too, because I mean,
oh god,
does
Brook
have any life-saving training? I mean, this is an old lady; she probably didn't know how to swim.
Oh,
Brook apparently doesn't either, because that's a 3.
Oh no!
Minus chalk, that's a 2.
You can actually, maybe Brook does know how to swim, but she doesn't know how to swim with another person trying to elbow you in the face. So.
Oh shit! Is this? Oh no!
Oh, this is so good.
I have an idea. So I think you're like gulping water as you're like getting this auntie back to shore. But as someone who's up on shore pulls her out, like this pond is like a weird like the depth is weird. Like it's deep at the edges too. And as they pull her out, like if this works for you, Bethany, I think like taking it, like you get a big mouth and like big mouthful and like briefly go under, and then Jordan reaches his hand in, like up to his elbow and like grabs your arm and hauls you out, and has to give you mouth to mouth here on the beach, on the skirt of the pond where you're both filthy.
Yep. And it's all on camera.
Yep.
The GoPro's still swiveling. And Gus is trying to running around trying to calm people down, and let's see, who's the first to notice that's not, I mean, obviously Jordan knows what it is. Brook knows what it is. Who's the first of the other people?
Oh,
it says, what the hell?
Cory knows, right?
It's definitely Cory.
Okay.
It's definitely once it has bubbled up all the way to the surface, like
Cory remembers.
Cory's like, oh god, that thing's still out here.
And does he actually say that live?
Yeah. Kid just can't stop himself. Just I don't think I brought a date to this, but I think that one of the other defensive tackles is here in the row with me, and I'm like, that thing still floats. Amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's craftsmanship right there.
See, woodshop was awesome.
That's why everybody from town knows the Legend of Bookrat, because everybody that from that entire school age group saw you guys working on that damn thing in woodshop class. Because you weren't even trying to hide it. Like you were like, what?
Yeah.
That was for the internet, not for
Right.
How's Summer doing with all this?
Let's see. You succeeded on getting the thing to work, but every roll after that went terribly wrong, I think.
Yeah. Can I suggest my own complication here? Summer thinks this is a beautiful romantic gesture that just went wrong, but it's.
Oh my God! Yes. She walks up and here's my suggestion. She walks up as you're sort of coughing and and Brook's coughing and finally spits out that pond scum water and is holding on to Jordan's arm, and she comes up and she pulls Jordan up and away from you, and she says, "I cannot believe you did this." And Jordan's like, "Wait, I can explain, and she just like kisses him like full on, like foot up, like every ridiculously overblown romantic gesture you can think of, and says, "You glorious bastard, that is the sweetest thing I have ever seen. I can't believe you did that for me." That is
contemplates just rolling back into the water.
it's just like the day we met. It's so sweet. Like and Jordan's like, yeah, I wasn't sure how it would go over. I didn't realize it would cause like it and
Yep.
And Gus and Gus I think walks over to Cory and he's like, I cannot believe you guys like still had that thing around. Like I figured you would have like turned it into a chair or something.
I thought it would have just like rotted out here.
I mean, that old log's been here for like 20 years. I mean, come on.
We never put it underwater. That's wild.
Yeah, I mean that like having it float back up like that. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
God, I wish I would have thought of that. I wish I would have thought of that when we were making it in the first place.
How did Jordan do that? I mean,
Jordan, you're a legend.
I mean, that guy couldn't when you guys were in woodshop, that guy couldn't nail two boards together.
I guess he's just kept at it. What a cool thing to put in his own wedding. So cool.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna live that down with her family anytime soon because that old lady like went right into that water.
That's pretty amazing though.
I didn't say it wasn't amazing, but that's gonna be like that's a rough way to start. I can't see that going over well at any family reunion.
They're gonna laugh about it in 2 years. Watch. Just watch.
That poor old lady.
How we want to wrap this up?
Good question. Yeah.
So my question is this: once you are revived, do you still conduct the ceremony?
Oh shit! Yeah, I think. I forgot.
Because I think Summer's mom is like, I swear to God, if you can't
I think
finish this,
I think it is. I think it's Summer's mom. I'm like, well, I guess.
Summer's mom is pretty damn terrifying.
Summer's mom is terrifying. Summer's mom is more terrifying than drowning. So, yeah, I do. And of course, I've forgotten like half the words.
And of course, they were
since I memorized them last night.
They were in your pocket, like you had them written down. They were.
And the paper's all like soggy, and I'm unfolding it, and like, yeah, okay, and I don't know, something, I can't read it. Let me skip to the next line. But it is a really ineptly performed, but still valid ceremony.
Really, all that matters is that final little like notary thing you do at the very end.
Yep.
Where we all attempt to you have to verify their identities with their licenses and
their licenses, which did not require a background check.
Live birth certificates.
They're all wrong.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
And I think like after the ceremony, you have like Summer's mom, like, sort of quietly threatening Jordan that if he ever tries that shit again, like, her daughter she will comfort her daughter, after his disappearance.
Yeah. I just kind of look at Jordan and like, I hope she's worth the family that comes with her. And, at some point,
family, it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say at some point somebody probably sends that video to the, well, maybe not to the ghost hunters, but
Gus is totally posting that shit on YouTube. Like he won't really attach it to any particular place. Like he's gonna like go. I don't want to. Well, ghost post it, I guess would be the right word. Like he's gonna like post it to like just a blind feed and just like.
Oh yeah.
So the only people you're gonna know where the hell that is like the people from this little town.
Yeah, but the people in this little town know people elsewhere, and essentially, like it's the slowest viral video ever.
It's a slow burn. It's like it's like tuberculosis. Like it can take 10 years to really get there, but once it gets there, it kills.
Does Gus make his own soundtrack to go with it? Oh, that's the real question.
I think he does, and I think he tries to do it like a sort of a pop version of yakety sax, like that sort of Benny Hill, like and just like, and it's just like he does like the wedding music to start it off, and like as soon as the thing bubbles up, like then the sort of Benny Hill yakety sax kind of music starts. As everybody gets up screaming and starts running everywhere.
That's amazing.
And of course, like the panning, you get like the part where Brook heroically jumps in to like save the old lady and gets her to shore, and then the old lady like stomps her back under the water as she's getting pulled out, and then she has to be dragged back out by Jordan and given mouth to mouth. So like Brook looks really good in the video, like she looks heroic, like she goes into this disgusting pond to save this old lady, so that, I mean, Brook comes
definitely
off
didn't instigate all of this at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, nobody knows that. And Jordan thinks she was just trying to like do something really cool, and it turned out really cool. So he doesn't say anything. In fact, if he mentions it, like he's like, dude, I don't know how you thought of that, but it turned out awesome. That is like the best wedding ever. I don't know that he ever told Summer that it was you that did it. I'm sure he never told her that, but
no. Well, not maybe that I did the actual, but like it was definitely his idea.
Yeah, in lieu of gift, send sea monster.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that is awesome.
And the camera also captured like Cory screaming, "Jordan, you are a fucking legend."
It ends with that, maybe, or no? I guess the ceremony, like the actual ceremony, took place after it, but
like the online video ended with that. Like they didn't go through.
Yeah, you just like cut to put that at the end. Perfect. Yeah, I think that is also the end of our story. Is yes, that like transposed Jordan, you're a fucking legend from Cory.